My husband surprised me with a romantic getaway, but I found the real reason in his browser history. Eric had been acting unusually cheerful for weeks. He kept dropping hints about a romantic getaway for the two of us, booking time off work and making sure I had nothing scheduled. I trusted him. I thought he was planning something sweet, a quiet weekend away to reconnect. The Friday of our supposed escape, he drove us to a small cabin in the mountains. The weather was perfect, the air crisp and clean, and everything smelled like pine and wood smoke. Eric was grinning, carrying our luggage, acting like a man in love. I tried to match his excitement, but something in his energy felt off. He was too eager, too polished, like he'd been practicing this performance for weeks. That night, after a dinner of takeout we ate by the fireplace, he left to get firewood. I stayed in the cabin, scrolling through my phone. When he returned, he was buzzing with energy, but I noticed his laptop sitting on the small desk in the corner, open and logged in. A strange curiosity overtook me. I knew it was a breach of trust, but I couldn't help myself. The next morning, while Eric showered, I pulled the laptop closer. His browser history was still open. The first link made my stomach drop. A hotel in a nearby city, not the cabin, booked under a different name. Then came searches for flights that didn't include me, dating sites, and more recent searches about local bars and restaurants in that city. Every entry screamed that this romantic getaway was a cover for something else entirely. I felt cold all over. The man I married, the one I trusted with my life, had been planning a weekend for someone else, someone he didn't bother to tell me about. I sat there staring at the screen, unable to move, reading the details over and over to make sure I wasn't imagining it. There was no doubt. Every bookmark, every search, every open tab confirmed it. Eric had been meticulously planning an affair while making me think he was surprising me. When he came back into the cabin, still smiling, I had the laptop in my hand. "Eric," I said, voice shaking. He froze, saw the screen, and the grin faded instantly. He started fumbling, but I cut him off. "No need, I've seen enough. All of it, every search, every hotel, every bar, I know what you were planning." He went pale, and I realized he hadn't expected to be caught. His first reaction was denial, of course. "It's not what you think," he said, like that could erase everything. I laughed bitterly. "It is exactly what I think," I replied. "You planned a fake romantic weekend to cover for the one with her. I can't believe I ever trusted you like this." The rest of the weekend was silent. Eric tried to apologize, tried to explain, tried to make excuses, but there was nothing he could say. The evidence was right there on his laptop, cold and undeniable. By the time we drove back home on Sunday, I had made up my mind. Trust wasn't something he could rebuild with sweet words or last-minute gestures. He had chosen someone else, and I was done being the fool who believed his performance. I packed my things quietly and stayed at my sister's house that night. Eric texted nonstop, begging for a conversation, promising it wouldn't happen again, swearing he loved me. I didn't reply. I deleted all the photos of that weekend, erased the messages, and changed my passwords. His betrayal was clear, and I wanted nothing to do with the remnants of the life he had been pretending to cherish. Weeks later, the reality of it all hit me harder than any argument or fight could. It wasn't just the affair he'd planned. It was the meticulousness, the lies, the way he'd crafted an entire fantasy to fool me, the woman he claimed to love. I realized I had been living in someone else's story while he was writing a parallel life I didn't even know existed. The romantic getaway wasn't romantic at all. It was a trap wrapped in charm, a weekend-long performance that revealed the true character of the man I married. And now, knowing the truth, I couldn't unsee it. I couldn't pretend it hadn't happened. Eric hasn't spoken to me in days. I don't reach out. I've deleted his contacts, blocked his calls, and removed every trace of him from my life online. The betrayal was too deep, the evidence too vivid. That weekend in the mountains didn't give me memories of love or laughter. It gave me clarity. And in that clarity, I realized I had to walk away, leaving the man I thought I knew behind, along with the life he had been secretly building for someone else.